Welcome one, welcome all. It's a new month. It's my month. Regardless of what my daughter thinks. It's Friday, and of course, it's Hot Topics special. Now, there's a full package. If you ask me, like, there's so many stories. But if you are as excited as I am to bring in the best of this month, that means it is what, 60-something-ish days to the end of the year. How many days does November have? 30. December has 31st.
Yeah, 30. So
you still remember that? I remember nothing.
I do it in my mind every time before I answer any question.
But anyway, it's not just my month, it's also the month of our producer, Peculiar. So, of course, she would definitely agree with me.
November, baby.
You people. Anyway, so once again, welcome to November and welcome to Jasiri.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes,
I
love.
just hope that November is going to be peaceful because, guys, October was filled with bass boosts everywhere. And we'll be going to some of the highlights with our guests soon. But first, listen, blessings, oh my blessings.
Blessings of God.
Listen, blessings has just been blessing us this week. You have just been shining bright like a diamond.
Me?
So please, have you seen her on Instagram? You have to just go her. Blessings just keep slap. The bad boss is from blessings. What's the secret, Gun? What's the secret?
If it's physically, this last month was my worst. I had never postponed sickness like that to my life. Like I was suspending the sickness physically, but I think emotionally, mentally, and social medially, I was shining.
You see what they tell you about social media? Like, it's all fake life. Don't be using somebody else's curated experiences to check your own life.
I posted something on my story the other day. I'm like, when they ask me, Blessings, what do you like to do for fun? My answer is, I like to watch fake people live fake lives, so movies and social media.
But you know it's true. I see things on social media as I'm there scrolling, I'm doing, this one. Because again, we're also in this industry, especially for Nigerians. We know some of the backstories. We know some of the things that are not exactly the way people want to paint. But people are entitled. None of us have to 100% open up so much that people see all the negative and the bad. That's life. We're not, we are allowed our privacy to a certain point. But I think it's, for me, it's because we have young children, we have impressionable people who get caught up and think that is really how life is, and it's not.
But then again, it's not all fake life. So that someone doesn't buy a car and you say, it's a lie, you didn't buy, no, it's not all fake life. But we're just saying, be careful what you see out there on social media. And whatever you choose to put out is yours, basically, to decide.
People just want to put their best foot forward out there, and hey, if I want to make me feel like my life is greener than it is, then what's the harm? But that's how it is. It starts from what's the harm, and it amplifies, and it amplifies.
But you know where this thing came from? It's packaging. So even before social media, what was it? Fake it till you what?
Make it.
So now we translated that, which was, just be the person, try to imagine yourself, try to put yourself in the situations you think of in the future. We now translate it to social media. And this fake it till you make it on social media.
Do you know the wahala that goes into faking it till you make it? I mean, do you know why studios are making so much money these days? People just going to take pictures. If you know you're wearing fine clothes, and you are going, before you go to the Owambe, before you go to the party that you're going to, you brand studio. So they can capture this moment in time.
But unfortunately, would I say fortunately or unfortunately, it works. Because that's what sells.
Why are we looking alike today?
Do you understand?
I think it's the hair.
Why are we looking alike today? What's going on here?
I think it's the hair.
It's the hair.
It's the hair and then the black.
Yes.
Do you know this is the fourth time that we have somehow coordinated our clothing color this week? There was blue, there was green, there was black. What's going on?
But I'm not surprised. You see, when women stay together within a certain
true.
space, even our body clocks begin to see.
I think it's
never
so true.
understood it.
But science will tell you it's not true. But women who live together will tell you it's 256. They were 256. She knows. I think we're like eight women in the
It was
house.
just from here.
There was like a week and a half. You just did not want to come because the overlapping cycles. Somebody was always on fire.
I remember then in my house, my sisters, because I have like 4 of them, and then when one of them is like, oh, my period is coming, everyone is like,
no, where's my
no, you can't do that to me. And I'll be wondering, how does it
and then it happened.
It does.
Yeah. So I want to go back to this social media thing, because when we were looking at it, we all want to have a really good life and enjoy ourselves. We want to fake it so we make it. And we have one of Nigeria's biggest social media critics joining us in just a moment. But you know, the packaging of it, you were talking about photo shoots. I went to do my birthday photo shoot. I was asking the makeup artist and the photographer, how do people do this every week? Yes. Just the fact that I have to wear makeup Monday through Friday. I don't get off days except weekends. And then weekends when I'm going and I have to put
and then you have to put
and
on your
people are doing this every single week. Yeah. That's why I really appreciate, I don't know if you guys follow Law Roach. He's one of the biggest stylists in the world and he styles Zendaya. If you've been seeing her style, it's just been a hit back to back. But he was in a recent podcast and he says that he hates the narrative that social media have brought on that you can't repeat clothes. He repeats clothes and I repeat clothes. But then sometimes like, but I put this on my social media 6 months ago. When he said it, was like liberation. You people will be seeing, if it's an event clothes, you will see it again in 2 months and I'll proudly post it again. He said he doesn't understand the pressure we're putting on ourselves to create these lifestyles where we do not repeat clothes on social media. How?
Do you know content creators is so bad? And I wouldn't lie, sometimes I get caught up in the web. Like, I'm going to confess. Yes, I'm going to confess. There was a time, so there was this dress I had on my suit. I've already posted the outfit on my suit. In fact, if I take a picture and it's not nice, I will wait until I wear it again, then post it.
I do it. If I take a picture, I don't like the hair. I will wait until I like the hair.
So there was this particular day, I wore that same outfit and I just went out casually with my friends. And I took a picture with someone and the person posted on their story. I did not repost because I repeated the outfit.
We gotta free ourselves. We gotta free ourselves.
No. Anyways, we're opening the phone lines because, like Tolu said, there's a lot to unpack, and we want to get your contributions and to hear your thoughts on our biggest stories of the week. But that will be after the break. So stay tuned for that. We'll be back.
Welcome back to the show. We're live on our social media platforms. We are at News Central TV. Our special guest today literally has a comment for everything and anything happening. He also has a response for anyone who tries to come for him. His bio on X says, "To whom it may concern, please don't stress yourself. If my tweets or personality annoys you, kindly use the block button above. Goodbye in advance," end quote. If you still don't know who I'm talking about, take a look at this. And we just have to remind you the show you're watching and the time it's on. Daniel Rega, welcome to the series.
Daniel Rega.
Because of him, I even cut short the intro because I know that there's a lot to unbundle.
Yes.
Hi, Daniel. It's fantastic to have you here with us.
Thank you. You know, like when I told people I was going to, when I made the post, I'm going to be here by 10 p.m. We're like, what did you want to go do for there? What are you going to do here? And I'm like, I don't understand. People call it, they better pass me. No, to be honest, they are not.
One.
No, to be honest, they are not.
Keep it score. One.
Like I said, you can see me well.
Let's talk to the eyes.
Talk to the eyes.
Handsome man. How are you? No,
I'm
really.
fine. No, I'm fine.
Usually, we have a pattern, a traditional culture here on this table. As far as you sit on this table and you're Nigerian, you live in Nigeria, especially Lagos, we have to ask you, take your temperature, like during the COVID period. My brother, how are you? In its entirety.
I was fine before. No, I was fine before. I was fine before this administration took over. You understand? But I was we are used to adaptation, and that's a problem for us.
Everybody says that.
We are used to adaptation, you understand? But I won't say mentally I'm okay. Financially, we are, we're trying to make ends meet.
How far apart are the ends? How far apart are the ends now?
The ends are not meeting.
They can't meet here.
They are not meeting anymore, but we just thank God.
Why do we say that?
But I'm usually fine in the morning before I go online. Because when you come online, the thing that when you come online, you must see one bad news, either one irrelevant news from the government. I think they said they distributed 25,000 naira to some people. Do you see money
conditional cash transfer to,
Did you see the money?
to 25 million Nigerians.
We're still waiting.
That's why I had to call them yesterday. I don't understand. I have everything that makes me a Nigerian, from BVN to NIN. Shisha, you don't see.
But you don't fall into the category.
I feel like, why not? There's nothing to look at my life.
How will somebody look at you and say you fall into the category?
Ha, no talk again.
They won't GQ like you.
Which GQ? Forget on a packaging.
Okay, so talking about coming online, Daniel, you tend to get on so many people's nerves, right?
How?
And I want to ask, so eventually maybe when you started out, you didn't intend it, but these days everything is content. So do you just contradict people for just contradicting?
My posts are not content. I think I made this thing clear before on so many occasions. My posts are not content. I don't just be like, oh, let me just post this thing now so people, because I know I have the traffic, right? So I don't kind of tend to exploit it. Like, okay, I know that when I come online, when I drop something, people will just like, oh, what did you post now? If it's food, lifestyle, outfit, politics, do you understand? If it was content, I can just sit down every single day and just draft out what I want to just put ahead of time. Just schedule it and just post it. You understand? So it's not as if my life is to please people or to get people talking. And that's the conversation I don't even bother to engage myself in. No matter how trendy it is, I feel like this is not something I should be talking about, even if it's to pull me serious clout. Do you understand? So I think people I understand where people are coming from, where most people come from, like, okay, everything is online. Even people that come out and do relationship and kiss and all those nonsense. We know that it's practically for... Sometimes most of us people are overdoing it, you understand? We know you have a boyfriend, we know you're in a relationship. Chill.
Are you in a relationship?
Single Pringle, not ready to mingle. December is not far from here.
All right, Daniel, let's get started. I had another. Do you agree you're a troublemaker?
No, I'm not.
Are you a troll?
I'm not.
I see it in your eyes.
I am not. The thing, I am not. But I am not. But I am very opinionated.
Okay.
It is very difficult for you to win me in an argument because I like to stand on ground.
And stand correct, ne?
So do you argue to be right, or you argue because you know you're right?
Both.
So you're a troublemaker?
I'm not a troublemaker. I tend to argue with facts, though.
But what's wrong with being a troublemaker? And I ask that to say, in our society, we tend to have too many follow the leader.
Mob mentality.
Yeah, so even when we say troublemaker, we might have it as negative connotations. But I think societies such as ours need people who trigger consciousness, who force us to have conversations.
But that is different from what you're saying. Troublemaker and triggering consciousness or bringing out...
Okay, give me another word for it.
Okay, do you think you're a counterintuitive person?
No. Because sometimes I do agree with what people say.
He does, actually, surprisingly. Okay,
but the point is that people don't... The one you kind of agree with them, they don't want that one. Do you understand? When people are like, oh, this picture is good, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I think this picture is good. They will not engage that one.
Yeah.
No. Is that one that you feel like, oh, you are prognosing or you are doing something that is kind of... Okay, someone posted something yesterday. I don't want to mention him. Let me even mention his name, sir. What is there? And this guy that always tie towel to do skits, Sydney.
Oh, Sydney Talker.
He posted something yesterday about, I think he posted, and he's still using this T-Pain, whatever he said has not gotten on me. When I saw he post, I was like,
oh, the food one where he had... The food one, you understand? I didn't get, I was like, I understand what you're trying to do, but at the same time, it's not making any sense. Because you're indirectly saying people that have financial issues now, how do you want to receive that message? You have a big platform. There's anything you don't say. Do you understand?
So you thought that wasn't bad?
It wasn't sensitive.
Oh, okay.
All right, so let's start this conversation because I actually really want to hear what Daniel has to say about this because this was a story that had us getting dragged. Jasiri got dragged in South Africa in this story.
Yes.
Okay.
But anyway, it seems that South Africans are not yet done with Chidinma Adesina. And that's because there's a group calling itself the Progressive Forces for South Africa, which has launched a petition to stop Adesina, who is now Miss Universe Nigeria, from competing in the Miss Universe pageant happening on November 17th in Mexico. Now, the news of the petition comes after the Department of Home Affairs in South Africa announced to a parliamentary committee on Tuesday, October 29th, that Adesina and her mother failed to meet a deadline to justify keeping their documents, leading to the decision to revoke them and have the case forwarded to the Hawks, which is a special crime investigation unit, something like SARS should have been. And this has now been deemed a case of fraud. Now, Adesina arrived in Mexico this week to prepare for the Miss Universe pageant. The department's stance is seen by some as a part of a broader conversation on identity and national eligibility in South Africa.
Yeah.
Okay, so the controversy has sparked xenophobic backlash once again for Additional, leading her to share that she may need therapy to recover from the ordeal. Now, Chidima Additional was first in the news around August this year when she became a finalist in the Miss South Africa pageant, and we remember that story because, like Tolu said, we got dragged. Then questions about her eligibility arose due to her parents' foreign origins. Her mother is Mozambican and her father, apparently, of course, Nigerian. She immediately began receiving backlash, scrutiny, and eventually death threats, leading her to withdraw from the Miss South Africa competition after allegations surfaced that her mother may have committed identity theft to gain South African citizenship. After her withdrawal, Home Affairs gave her and her mother a deadline to explain why they should retain their South African documents. Now, some Nigerians picked up the fight for her. She was invited home by the Miss Nigeria organization to participate in the competition, where she eventually emerged the winner, which also, raised, some
we got dragged for that too.
We got dragged for that too. Despite the controversy and xenophobic backlash, Additional, who says she was born in Soweto, insists that she's both proudly South African and proudly Nigerian.
So where do we start? Do we start with the petition from a South African organization to Miss Universe saying that she isn't eligible because of the issues? Or do we go to the fact that they're now revoking her and her mother's documents? Or to the fact that protocol was broken for her to be part of the Miss Universe Nigeria competition?
What I'm going to say, this is why I think I have the issues with South Africans and also Nigerians. Do you understand? I feel like after the whole controversy, I didn't see the reason why she shouldn't participate in Miss Nigeria to start with. I felt like they should have waited for her till probably 2025. You understand? She needed time to heal, deal with all this drama now. So we ourselves don't get dragged into the process. Do you understand? And I feel like there are other people that deserve that spot. You can't just say because she's popular, she's trendy, based on the controversy, you just bring her in. It is just like, let's say they have let's say Nigerian Idol or Project Fame now, right? Something happened, okay, let's bring him in because you created a slot for her. She's not even representing her state, and that is why I have a problem. I think she's representing Taraba or something like that. She's not representing her state. Now, I felt like, I understand we're all trying to sympathize with her. I understand she needs time to get back on her feet. But creating a spot for her takes away someone else's opportunity. I said that thing before so many times, and I still stand by it. In terms of South Africans signing a petition, if they revoked her mother and she and her mother's citizenship, that's fine. If that is the law, that's fine. There's no big deal about it. She's a Nigerian. She's always welcome here. This petition of a thing they're trying to do to stop her from contesting from Miss Universe.
In Mexico, yeah.
She's already done. She's representing Nigeria. She's no longer representing South Africa. So I don't see the whole buhaha about the whole thing.
So I agree with what he says in terms of having to break protocol to bring her, because I've always said
wrong.
that it doesn't make any. You won't do that for a Nigerian.
Thank you.
You would not do that for a Nigerian. So it's hypocrisy, right? And it's double standard. And again, he said something about having to wait till 2025, and it's not just because she needed to heal, but there were a lot of
people. She has to follow the due process.
Her, right?
You understand?
Forget even about so fine. The South Africans were still after her. Well, let's say that was not reason enough. But her mother's citizenship was in question. So hence hers too was in question. So why wouldn't you have just waited until everything blows over? But instead you brought her knowing fully well that she was still undergoing some of this. I don't know if it was that distraction, because like it or not, if you feel it's just like failing to appear in court. It's already a crime. You've already, I've forgotten what they call it. It's not contempt, right?
It is contempt when you fail
exactly.
to appear.
So failing to appear in court is already criminal. So you and your mother refused to appear in court. I don't think that there is any sentiment that should be attached to this. I know that the organization that is against her competing now might have one, bias because of that. Yeah. But they are right. Because if your citizenship is in question, then you have no business representing any country.
So I'm of two minds, and I agree with Daniel. She's no longer representing you. Let it go. Let it go. Let us move on. We've made our decision. Now let us drag ourselves. And we actually did take it up with Miss Universe Nigeria on this table, because you brought her to Nigeria, which is fine. You could have even given her a special seat for her to just be part of the show.
Yeah.
And then you bring her on, you put her as Miss Taraba. And the moment they announced her as Miss Taraba, I knew she was going to win. And I also think it was also about them getting on board with the noise about it. When was the last time we talked about Miss Universe Nigeria when they had pageants? They haven't trended, they haven't been part of conversations for a long time. A lot of the times they get dragged when people see I won't, maybe the caliber of the individuals in the competition as it may be, but then you bring her on, and I was asking, who was Miss Taraba before it was given to Chidinma? Are you telling us there was no Miss Taraba?
Yeah.
That's a different thing if there was no Miss Taraba. But still, she's representing a state. Has she ever visited that state? What did she know about the state? Some Nigerians will tell you is grace, that grace and protocol was broken for her. And that's not how a country functions or should function at all. And now we're going now there's a petition that Miss Universe should disqualify her. If Miss Universe organization now decides that they want to go through how she emerged, can we say that there was a local Miss Taraba competition and that she was part of it, and that there are documents to show that she emerged from there to now come to the national stage? We ourselves could actually end up getting in trouble. Let's not be fooling ourselves. Everything doesn't work the way it works in Nigeria.
Yeah, but I feel like if they actually want to do that, they should have done it before inviting her to compete for the Miss Universe, right?
This is where Lola would say, you know, spin a story. If you have a good PR, you know, in your coffers, spin a good story. And like Tolu said and Blessing said, rightly so, they jumped on this and they put her as the front because they wanted to get on it. Now, apart from that, there always is the underlying issue between South Africa and Nigeria. It's there's undercurrents of it. So when you see South Africa, maybe on a normal basis, they probably wouldn't have taken this far. But because there's that
tension, that discrimination.
So let's take reactions. You'll get that in the reactions to the story, because we had a lot of South Africans there. We also had some Nigerians as well. So let's get the reactions to Chidinma, of course, representing Miss Nigeria at the Miss Universe pageants, and then of course this petition against her as well. Let's get the reactions up, because we have a breaking story that we'll get into in a little bit. Somebody says, we are in Hollywood. Why are some South Africans so filled with hate for fellow Africans? Do they not know their history? Do they not know how we sacrificed and fought against their oppression when many of the rest of the world helped the apartheid regime to make them achieve freedom? It is unfathomable why some South Africans are so xenophobic and filled with jealousy of other Africans. Let's get some more reactions here. There are bigger issues happening than stopping a daughter of fraudsters from entering beauty pageants, like this Ukraine visa. Can we petition against that? And this is a South African who's saying this is not the priority. Someone else is replying, South African, at what point will people say she's paid the price? What more has to happen now? That's a good question. Jail? Genuinely asking. Let's take another reaction. You guys are good at setting yourselves up, nah? You know Nigerians. South Africans are not particularly so happy about this petition. You know Nigerians have numbered the whole world. The next thing, they will be petitioning that Mia, who's the representative for South Africa, gets blocked from participating because you are xenophobic. Leave that girl alone. And one final one. Our pursuits for justice for victim whose life has been denied and paused for the past 22 years will not be postponed. Chidinma Adetshina must show remorse towards the young South African girl who equally didn't choose to be a victim of identity fraud. And one of the points some people were making is Chidinma was a child. Whatever decisions or actions her parents took,
it's on her mother.
It's on her mother and possibly her father. So many people seem to be so strongly holding that they want her to pay for decisions that were taken without her consent.
So my thing is, I'm not siding with South Africans for whatever it is they're doing, but it's like we're giving them, it's like Chidinma is literally falling into their bait. The simple thing is, you and your mother present yourself in court, defend the document, and let this thing die down.
They've revoked their visa, so their citizenship. I think that should be the ultimate prize. I don't think any other thing is not going to be relevant to me anymore.
If you want to,
she's paid the price.
So if you want to, because now you talked about getting to the root cause of it, I don't think if they want to investigate, it's going to start from why she even had to come to Nigeria. Her citizenship will now be in question. Who are you? Where are you from?
She's a Nigerian. She's already flying for Nigerian flag. You understand? So I think this whole thing about South Africa and Nigeria, it has to end, because we are done with that matter. And like the person said, we have some more serious conversations to talk about.
No, it won't, guys. It won't end.
But people like to drag irrelevant things.
Thank you. So while we are busy listening to people dragging irrelevant things, let us stay on the course that we've charted for today. The stories we've treated this week have been really interesting. But it's really interesting to see how, let me call him what I called him on Monday, Mr. Do You Know Who I Am? Nigerians, we always say that. But anyway, one day he's serving slaps on a delivery driver, and by the end of the week, he was in the dock, arraigned on a 3-count charge bordering on assault and threat to life. He pleaded not guilty to the charges filed by the Office of the Inspector General of Police. His counsel then made an oral application for his bail. Now, this past Wednesday, he tendered an apology to the delivery driver, Stephen Abuasea, and all Nigerians at a House of Representatives plenary session, saying that he is, in quote, human. Now, I wonder if the delivery driver he threatened he could make disappear without a trace was an alien. So Judge Abubakar Salida joined the case till the 8th of November, granting him bail of 500,000 naira. Meanwhile, the House of Reps has said they will invite the assaulted cabby for a fair hearing and have urged Nigerians to wait for the outcome of the case. This is a lot of English, Daniel. Please, can you make it make sense?
As soon as you started the story, he started hissing.
Nigerian legal system is a joke. 100% joke, to be honest. How can you say he pled not guilty, then he will come out and tender an apology? If you're not guilty, why are you apologizing?
Guilty, exactly.
To actually apologize before he had to plead, but
it makes no sense because first of all, there is video evidence, there is concrete proof that you did this thing.
Yeah.
Do you
And
understand?
apology is
it is not an allegation, and this is where I
did.
have an issue with whatever that. I would say it's nonsense they put out there. The House of Reps put out there. How can you say it's an accusation? You said accusation, you said allegation. When there is literal proof there.
My question is, why are they even inviting the cabbie?
They want to find a way to do it now. Nigeria, because to be honest, this is the first thing they would have done is suspend him.
What did
Suspend him. Do you understand?
Suspend him. Party suspends him.
Yes.
He's actually Abga.
Thank you.
And then the House of Reps suspends him as well.
Then start your investigation and prosecution.
This table is the prophetic table because we see it in
Do you understand?
So who is the head
prophetess.
Suspend him.
Yes, we called it here. Suspend him.
The last, I don't know who, I don't know whether it's Mr. Carlo, the one when he was like, everybody say aye, everybody say nay. Some people said nay. Then he looked at them again. All in favor say aye, everyone say aye. I say the aye has it. And bam. I'm like, I don't understand. If this was a common criminal or like a common man, would you guys sit down here and be saying, let us refer him to one committee or one panel?
And let Nigerians be calm and wait for the end of the investigation?
First of all, police said he was arrested. There's no proof that he was arrested.
Yeah.
We didn't see a picture. The next thing, he appeared in court looking fresh. Are you supposed to be released while the investigation is still going on? Because I don't understand how it
depends
works.
on the kind of case.
They forgot that they arrested him.
Oh, they forgot they arrested him.
Yes.
Guys, let's go.
The case made no sense to me, to be honest. I know they're trying to push... Personally, I feel like they want to push it under the rug.
So my issue again is you're inviting the cabbie. As per what and as per
To come and explain why he was slapped now. I think that's what they want to do.
We have to go on a quick break, but when we come back, we have more stories for you. And Daniel Rega is here. He's not holding back as our special.
No, to be honest, I'm trying to reserve some things because I don't want anyone to come and say, oh, why did you involve some people? Because there are people we need to call out from government to...
We are okay with calling
You understand? Because it makes no sense.
We'll be calling out Senator Akpabio.
Daniel is the lions then in the Bible. Please feel free.
Okay, so let's go on a break.
We'll go on a break.
Yeah.
We'll be back. Do I look like blessings? It's because I look like you today.
This is understandable. Anyways, you're watching Zasiri on Hot Topic Special Friday, and Daniel Rega, a social media commentator, is still with us. Love him or hate him, Daniel has built a name for himself.
Speaking of that, Daniel, do you consider yourself a troll? Do you consider yourself a social media influencer? Do you consider yourself a thought leader? Which is it?
Thought leader, no. Troll, definitely no. Commentator, sometimes. Influencer, part-time.
My God.
He has an answer for everything.
So
and
which one are you full-time? What do you
it.
consider yourself as on social media?
I don't even know, to be honest, because sometimes I don't even know. I just feel like I just drop opinion and I leave. I'm not there to come and engage people to like, if you like, cost my papa. At first, you don't say anything that will literally take you to court, though, because there are some things you will say. If I feel like, okay, this thing you are saying, like, there are some things, I think there are some allegations that people kind of like overlook. Let me come back to this VDM case, for example, now.
No, that's where we're going. Just hold on. Let me lay it out. Not everybody knows the story. That's actually my next story.
Okay.
Just hold on. All right. So let me ask before we get to that. Okay. How do you think about the way we treat celebrities in Nigeria?
It depends on the celebrity in question, because there's some that actually have sense, and there's some that don't even deserve any form of credibility at all. No, that's the simple truth. Some celebrities don't deserve that status at all. They're just popular, but they don't deserve the respect.
Yes.
Thank you. But there's some people that when they're being defamed, you actually have to like tune into like, what are people saying? Yes, I say it makes no sense. Yeah. And like this video, I don't want to come and start I want you to say what
Okay, let's go to it now. So the Nigerian police force on Thursday evening actually detained controversial social critic Martin Otse, popularly known as VeryDarkMan. While we do not know what he was detained for, his lawyer, Deji Adeyanju, said he was detained after honoring a police invitation. In a post on X on Thursday, Adeyanju disclosed that his client had honored a similar invitation on Wednesday. His post read, "Our client VDM has been detained after honoring a police invitation just like yesterday. VDM has been consistent in stating that the Nigerian police are our friends, even when we all know they are not." End of quote. The police condemned VDM's use of its uniform in one of his latest videos and ordered an investigation to determine the source of the attire. Now, in the video, VDM wore a police uniform and jokingly introduced himself as a Chief Superintendent of Police of the Online Division. Following the backlash that ensued from his actions, he released a video on Thursday apologizing for using attire resembling the official police uniform. Here's the apology.
Back from the police station, so it was back and forth, back and forth. They brought me in based on the post that I made where I said I was a CSP of the online division. So a lot of discussion happened, interrogation, and I found out some things. You know, we learn every day. Now, first of all, I made my video and I said CSP, my own interpretation. What I meant was Chief Social Media Person. However, the Nigerian police have a rank called CSP, which means Chief Superintendent of Police. And also, they said the uniform I was wearing is similar to the Nigerian police. That if at all you want to use a uniform that is similar to that of the Nigerian police, you have to seek permission, which I didn't know all these. You understand? So it's looked as if I was caricaturing the Nigerian police, which was never my intention. So I want to make a formal apology to the Nigerian police. Of course, I cannot caricature you. Without you, who is going to protect us?
You know what you remind me? No, I just want to make a comment. Daniel will respond. I don't know why I can't get it out of my head. You know, there's a certain brand of cheese. I know the French call it certain. It just reminds you know, he has nose rings. It reminds me of that. There's a certain brand of cheese.
You just wasted 10 seconds of our time.
To be honest. Say so. Lavage Kiri. Yes, that's
okay.
it.
To be honest, yeah. About this one.
You're free
about this whole police arrested VDM of a thing. I don't know though. I feel like if police want to take this whole wearing the uniform thing, law enforcement as a whole, the other people they can also go for.
Yes.
VDM is not the first person to wear police uniform. People wear it all the time. People use to shoot comedy and skits. I'm not saying it's right.
And then criminals use it to pretend to be police.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I am not saying it's right.
But if you want to go to the yard,
but if you want to scapegoat somebody, let's start from official content creators. Yeah. People that will know that this is what they do every day. Do they have a license or permission to wear it?
But let's not lie, we know that law enforcement, especially in this country,
we know it's biased.
when they have a tab on you, the same thing happens to
what I would say to VDM is that if you know you're in a hotspot now, you have so many cases to handle, you should not be dragging negative attention to yourself at this particular time. Whether you're a fan or not, I don't care if you're watching this thing. I'm just saying that you cannot be setting up yourself for drugs. Because that is simple truth, you understand? Yeah. And this whole Bobrisky of a thing and this whole Falana, the only reason why myself I'm interested in this Falana case, in this Bobrisky, is because Falana are mentioned. Otherwise, I would just skip the post. It's not relevant to me.
Yeah.
Do you understand? I feel like there's a vendetta about Bobrisky and VDM. The two of them are just having vendettas. It's not about...
And other people got dragged into it.
Thank you. You understand? Now, where I have issue with Nigerians in this whole conversation is that when he came out and made allegations against Faz and his dad, the Falanas in question, people rode on it. You didn't give Faz time to explain. You went straight to the comment section to start bombarding the comment section. You are this, you are that, and that stigma is still there to today. You understand? Now Faz have taken legal action. He told you to put it down, make an apology. He didn't make an apology. You understand? You guys were still like pushing him. That's okay. Now he took legal action. He's now becoming oppressed, and he's trying to oppress the person. How do you expect him to? Do you expect Faz to actually set ring lights? Because I don't understand what you guys are. No, but that is the simple truth. Do you understand? If you defame someone, and you're sure you defamed someone, because to be crystal point blank, that is defamation.
A lawyer was here sitting down telling us this exact same thing.
That is not the difference between you are stupid, you are mad.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
If I come out now and say, maybe call one irrelevant person now, or one irrelevant politician, one relevant politician, because there's so many relevant politicians in Nigeria. Call one relevant politician and say, you did this, you did that, right? And I call you, and you come out and be like, what did you say?
Yeah.
You try to reason with me.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't care. Nothing's happening. Do your worst. I said, okay, let's go to the court. Fast enough say, oh, pick VDM up. He didn't pick him up.
No.
They can literally abuse that part if they want to.
Yes.
Being the elite of Nigeria. He didn't. He said, come to court and prove yourself. And Nigeria was like, oh, what are you doing? You oppressing him. It's not oppression. I want Fast to either clear his name or admit his mistake. He cannot do that without going to court.
I have a reputation I built before you came on the scene.
That is simple truth.
My father has a reputation that is over 30-something years.
I think people don't know what reputation means, so they don't know what reputation means.
You know, I want to quickly ask you one question before we go on, and that is, when you said something about Nigerians pushing him, because you see a situation where even when he did this police thing, there are Nigerians there saying, nothing is going to happen. And we have a situation, you know, I asked you earlier about how we handle celebrities, worship them, or treat them. We have this thing where, what is the person we like? We can push them. But you'll push them so far behind a keyboard, be anonymous. When they're facing the consequences, you're nowhere to be found. Or you change the tune, and then you say people are being oppressed. When it is actually people's right to stand up for themselves.
That is simple truth. Do you understand? That is simple truth. We can hate whoever wants to hate. We can like whoever like, but the truth remains the same. If you want to give an opinion or you want to push someone, you want to encourage someone, make sure you are doing it in the right way. Because if Vivian wasn't wrong, he won't come out to apologize. Do you understand? I expect him the same way he apologized to the police. He should have apologized to the fathers and move on to Bobrisky. That is what he wants to do.
Yes.
You do not involve people's name in unnecessary controversy. Stand on your ground.
And expect
them to sit back
about something.
Do you understand? What you would have done, I understand that this is your time to build on the case. Do you understand? What you would have done, as far as I've reached out to you, you come out and how many minutes to tell an apology? Okay, you took out of context and that, you apologize point blank, you move on, you face Bobrisky. We know you are facing Bobrisky. But you cannot beat around the bush. Then now that the case is there, people are like, no, you're trying to oppress. It's not always about rich and poor. It's not. Do you understand? But Nigeria like to do this mindset of rich and poor. If I'm poor and I say something that is crappy about, let's say musician, maybe Whiskey, David Otse, and the Whiskey say, okay, let me pick you up. It's, oh, yeah, you're oppressing me. Okay, look at Speedati and Bona, for example.
Exactly.
Do you understand? That lady came out and was saying rubbish about Bona.
And not once, not twice.
I think he believes they talk about him now.
Yes.
Now, if Bona pick him up now, they say Bona is there doing this thing. So you don't want him to clear his name.
And it's not Bernard picking him up. It's the police that act on these petitions.
It's a simple thing.
We may have issues with how they act.
It's a simple thing. The same thing happened with Mohbad. Nobody stood up for Mohbad because it was Naira Marley versus Mohbad, and Naira Marley had more influence in the industry. Let us just say it, to be honest. If Mohbad was someone like Whiskey now, the case would be different completely.
It would be. It would be.
Do you understand? Yeah. No one came for Mohbad that time. They were all, when the Malians or whatever they call that, the record label release music, they would jump on it, they would hype it. It was when he now died, people now remember, oh, let us stand up for Mohbad. And you guys went from standing for Mohbad, which was supposed to be, the case was supposed to be about
bullying his wife.
Asking his wife for DNA.
I think Nigerian people are very confused, to be honest. So many people are confused. The case was not about who killed Mohbad. The case was about Mohbad petitioned Naira Marley and some people that he was assaulted. Build your relevance or build your case around that situation. It's not about who gave birth to Mohbad's child. That is the issue.
Daniel, hold on. We have breaking news, and I know you're probably going to have one or two things to say about that. So let's go straight to these breaking stories right now. Now, Justice Obiora Igwatu of the Federal High Court headquarters in Abuja on Friday was forced to excuse himself out of the court on citing sick-looking minors collapsing in court during the trial of End Bad Governance protesters. Now, the protesters, who number about more than 200, and some are mostly minors, had complained of ill treatment and various ailments. The trial judge was forced to take a few minutes after witnessing the collapse of a minor who was rushed to the hospital. Now, the trial has continued, and our reporter, Emmanuel Bagudu, is in court. He can't come to us live, but we'll be having him live later on in the course of the day. But, Daniel, this is a story we've all followed very closely. Nigerians protested the harsh economic situation. They protested the cost of governance. They protested how they're being led, how they're being treated. People were arrested. Minors are being charged to court for treason. And now we've heard that at least 3 minors collapsed this morning in court. And the courts and the trial judge has to excuse himself, hold the trial for a little bit. It has finally resumed now. And everybody's watching. Amnesty International has had a lot to say about this. We've had a conversation about this, speaking to one of the lawyers who represents some of the minors in this case. But they're saying they haven't been fed. They've been ill-treated. You were talking about the Nigerian legal system and the police system and the security system as it is. Just looking at this situation now, mostly minors in court.
Why are they being charged? Why are minors even in court to start with?
You started by saying that the legal system here is a joke in the country.
It's a joke. It's a complete joke.
Yeah.
Absolute joke.
Because this question you asked, why am I?
Have they picked Yahya Bello till today?
That's a good question.
The EFCC.
Emefiele, or I think that's the better point. Emefiele, something. His case have been beaten around the bush till today, but minors have been detained. For doing what? For speaking out the truth without freedom of speech. And it's true without freedom of speech in this country.
No, we have.
We don't.
No, we don't.
No, we don't.
Your speech is what
no, we don't. We don't even have because you can even be on this live now, and they'll just come and pick you up from here. They don't care, and they'll go away with it. Because there are also some Nigerians that will still support whatever decision the government takes. That is simple truth.
So because they're minors, we can't show their face.
Of course.
That's why the video is blurred as it is.
They should not even be in this.
You can see them in the courtroom. The reason I'm about to move this. You know, they say that there is a budget for feeding of prisoners and people in detention. And let's not forget that in Nigeria, the people in detention awaiting trial actually outnumber the people who've been convicted and who are supposed to be in jail. But they said that there's a budget for feeding. I can't remember which minister came out maybe a year, 2, 3 years ago and said, I think they do like 100 and something per prisoner every day for feeding. But these are young. I'll Google it once somebody else starts talking now.
Yeah,
but the thing is, you come out and we have minors in prison, in detention, being ill-treated, saying that they haven't eaten for days. Why are they in? Do we not have minor correctional facilities? When we spoke to...
Do we have?
We should have in some states. Lagos has. When we spoke to Dorothy about the young girl who was in jail.
Yes.
She was saying that Suleja prison rejected the girl because the girl was a minor. But yet there are minors, several minors appearing before a trial judge in a federal high court in Abuja, and we're all okay with that.
And they collapse, and the judge excuses himself for herself, and then it's like, so excusing yourself changes what there? What is, you see, Daniel asked a question that just got me thinking. I just went down. He said, what are minors doing in court?
They should not be there.
And our legal system.
Why are we?
And they didn't even commit a crime. That's even the worst part of it. There was a protest. Everyone came out to protest. So you people are just looking for who to scapegoat at this point now.
And you carry minors.
And you carried minors.
Okay, so Daniel, our next story has to do with a minor as well. It has to do with the story on Ogun State. Let's see if we can quickly take it before we... I can't believe I did that. All right, so the Ogun State government has shut down, the school. He's suspended the principal, arrested the teacher involved in the death of an SS2 student. Yes. The state government decided to take the steps after the death of Monday Aria from Obada Grammar School, allegedly caused by corporal punishment. The school has been closed. The principal, has been suspended for corporal punishment in defiance of existing state regulations. The teacher implicated in the incident has been arrested. Governor Dakwa Abiodun has also mandated an investigation stating that those responsible will face legal consequences. Educational officials visited the students' family. They offered condolences. They gave them assurances of a thorough investigation. The family also received a condolence letter and a cash gift of 500,000 naira, with the state government reiterating its commitment to
see, I'm looking at you at that 500,000
naira.
And justice for Monday's family.
For a child that I gave birth to and I raised up to SS to 500,000.
Immediately she said this, I remember one event that I attended just recently. The minister for, I'm not going to say, but it was an event about...
That's 5 bags of rice now.
Yes, it was an event about, empowering women. Fair enough, they did a competition and the cash prize was supposed to be like 500K. And then they increased it to 10 million naira. So when you're saying 500,000, I'm comparing both instances, and I'm like, it doesn't make any sense.
At the hands of a state government official.
Letter of condolence.
Daniel, so we talked about it in terms of corporal punishments and the issues around. You can't trust people. Too many people are frustrated. They have their own issues. This child was made to do frog jumps, numbering about 160, and was then still caned.
160 frog jumps.
Yes.
That is too much.
And then he was still caned and then taken to the hospital, even though the state is saying it was not up to that. So there's still a bit of question as to how many. Whatever it was, the punishment went too far and above and beyond. And then there's a conversation about whether or not we should continue to have corporal punishment even in schools, allowing whether it's the headmistress or the secretary, a designated person to mete out these punishments. Daniel, what do you think?
About the meting out of punishment, I would say yes.
Yes, too.
Yes.
To keeping corporal punishment?
Yes, because I myself, I went through it. I didn't get the extreme one.
Not like this.
You understand? But we are not, I won't say, I understand that the concerns parents have, but at the same time, everyone that is coming out to say, no, let's abolish anything punishment in school, everyone will punish their children at home. You understand that? Kids at the same time, they need that iron fist. They need a way to, like, you have to correct them.
So you're saying they should temper it.
They should temper
balance,
it.
yeah.
You can say, okay, open your hand, I flog you. It's a normal thing. We are used to it. This is Nigeria.
Yes.
You understand?
Yeah.
You punish them, kneel down, do what they call this thing? Motorcycle, pick pin.
Yeah.
But coming out to say, when I was in school, then they don't flog us at the back. They flog us at our palms, or sometimes they will say, okay, lie down. They'll flog you on your bum. You understand? Back then, I felt like, okay, the bum on. I was not comfortable with it, but I felt like it was a normal punishment. But now I knew it's kind of like an abuse. And it's okay for us. But you should also, as a teacher, know when to stop.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
That teacher now, he obviously, I don't know whether he was having a frustrating day or he just took out his anger on the kids.
So that's the reason I would not agree that corporal punishment should continue, because you cannot say it should continue and then we regulate it.
No, what I'm saying, the thing is that as a professional, whatever garbage you have in your house or during your day, do not bring it to the school premises.
What's the guarantee that they would not bring it?
That is why you should act as a professional.
These are
understand?
professionals. We asked you a question at the beginning. How are you really in Nigeria? You know that people are frustrated in this country.
And even a small,
because me myself now. Okay, do you know if I was frustrated before I came here?
We're all frustrated as we
but you have to keep professional. You have to know you don't mix your emotions with your job.
How many of them knows that?
Because if you say remove anything corporal punishment, right? Kids will run wide. That is the simple truth.
There are kids
Does that not mean then that parents are failing? Because you can't call me from school and tell me my daughter did something that was wrong and you're not able to punish her in school, and I will not get home and call Omokorede to the ground and punish her.
Because some parents also kind of come for teachers when you're like, why are you punishing my child? They expect teachers to kind of like...
Okay, so now look at this instance before we quickly go. This boy has passed, he's died. And you come and offer them 500,000 naira.
That one is an insult to start with. That is the deliberate insult from the government. 500,000 naira, like I said, 5 bags of rice.
And you said there will be a thorough investigation.
It makes no sense. It makes no sense. Do you understand? The guy has passed. RIP to his soul, and my condolences to the family, by the way.
Absolutely.
That is a very tragic event. You understand? But there's a kind of thing, if you want to insult someone, what is 500,000 in today's economy?
For a child.
You understand?
For the loss of a child.
Not that the child was maybe hospitalized. You now took care of the medical expenses, and that's okay. Let's give 500,000. That is a different case entirely. He is gone. If you even calculate how much the parents have invested in this boy, what's the 500,000 naira? Do you understand? Should corporal punishment stay? Yes, but there should be rules to it. You should know when to stop. Because if you take that ability of teachers like to punish kids will run wide. Even now, kids are running wide now.
Yeah,
that is the truth.
Yes, it is.
You talk to a kid now, the way they respond to you, it can just make you boil.
Yeah.
We have comments coming in, and someone says one of her main concerns is the Nigerian judiciary, as we talked about the breaking news coming from the Federal High Courts in Abuja. Daniel, we don't have any more time, but I think you yourself have enjoyed yourself. I'm almost afraid to ask him the question. Before I get an answer I'm not prepared for. Did you have fun?
Yeah, I have fun. Although that's not on the table.
We shouldn't have asked that question.
Do you see what I'm saying? Is it not the economy? Is the economy not economy?
What be economy? I'm not be Zobo for market.
Zobo is gone up.
We have to do it before he embarrasses us here.
I'm in support that they should keep corporal punishment as far as there are rules. And like I said, whatever is happening now, I think they need to actually hold the school responsible, because this will not be the first time.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good place to end it.
Bye-bye. Daniel, say bye-bye with us.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.